Hey everyone, and welcome back to my Let's Play of Pillars of Eternity. I am Travis the Fair, and we are still in, I believe, we are in Defiance Bay. I can't remember the exact name of this room we're in, the Ducal Palace. And we had just talked up here to a guy in the Hall of Records about we asked after Eddar's brother, I believe it was, yeah, I think it was his brother. And he basically turned us away and told us that we needed to build up our reputation before he would give us that information. So I guess now what we're going to do is kind of roam around Defiance Bay, maybe find some people who are willing to give us some work and see what goes on. So let's go ahead and talk to Firga here.
Good day, stranger.
Firga, the woman's head is bowed as her lips move in prayer. Just as you approach, you catch her glimpsing at the statue near her. She notices you and forces a smile. Praise be to Magrin, and welcome to her temple. How may I be of service? Well, you seem upset. What's up? Her shoulders slump. This is about the fires, isn't it? She puts her hand on your shoulders. They're just symbols. You can't put your faith in them. Well, only symbols. Is that why you're distressed? No, She sighs with a hiss like a release of steam. I've kept them burning steadily for 15 years, but I haven't been able to conjure them for months now, and people need to see them more than ever these days. So then, why can't you light them? They don't work that way. They're holy fires. In my devotions and prayers that keep them lit. It's my devotions and prayers that keep them lit, but lately when I try to pray, all I can think about are the Hollowborn all over the city, the grieving families, the refugees. She shakes her head. How could Magrin allow us to suffer like this? What strength do we gain from a soulless child? Durance grunts with disdain. What strength do we gain from adversity, from trial and test? The fires don't wither because she lacks in faith. They wither because she does not understand how to be faithful to a whore. A whore wants neither praise nor devotion. A whore wants to be compensated for her services, and Magrin is paid and pleasured in sweat and struggle and pain. This mewling imbecile is unworthy of Magrin's womanly heat. And I'm guessing this has shaken your faith? She nods, running her hands through her hair. But I believe Magrin may be speaking to me again. She frowns and casts a quick glance in your direction. Lately I've been seeing visions of place of wilderness with pools filled with sunbursts of color, strange falls that seem to rise to the heavens even while they splash into the earth. She raises her hands as if framing an image of her vision, and behind the falls is a cave, filled with fire and heat and danger, and some token of my goddess. I know there's something there, but where it is or how I'd get there, she shakes her head. I've been meaning to ask around the expedition hall to see if anyone recognizes the description. To be honest, though, I don't know what I'd do even if I found the place. Worthless. Like so many of Magrin's flock, afraid of her god's tests. If Magrin speaks to her, it is to hasten an end to a hypocrite's life, and this vision is surely a death trap for the weak. Well, what's the significance of the sacred pyres? They symbolize Magrin's power and guidance, and, right now, the people of Defiance Bay need to be assured of her presence. She crosses her arms, staring at the statue. Our neighbors in the Villian republics see us as superstitious, but we're just sensitive to the signs and warnings of the gods. Something else? Yeah, go ahead and tell me a bit more about the temple here. Magrin is the most revered goddess among us Deerwoodens, so it's no surprise that her temple is part of the Ducal Palace. Her fires symbolize trials, revolutions, and the blazings of new paths, all of which are important to us. She gestures to the statue. This is the first of the sacred pyres. When this is lit, so are the rest around the city. Alright? So I guess we can maybe go to the expedition hall and see exactly what it is she's... maybe try to find out what it is that she's looking for. This weird thing about the waterfalls of fire. Let's see what the journal has to say about that. Travel to the cave from her vision. She had a vision of a cave at a place with multicolored pools and a rising waterfall. She believes that something there should restore her faith, but she also believes that something else there would try to kill her. If I were to find this item for her, she might be able to resume her duties and resurrect the sacred fires of Defiance Bay. Frigga didn't know Firga didn't know where to find the place. She saw in her vision someone at the expedition hall might know. What's going on here? Only people with official invitations are allowed to observe the animancy hearings. Alright.
I'll see what I can find.
Oh, stealing. Don't really think I want to be stealing right now from the ducal palace, but you know. So yeah, that's one task we could be doing, I guess, to work on our reputation, help her find whatever this item is she's looking from some weird enchanted waterfall pool area. Alright, which part of Defiance Bay am I in? The first fires. This is the Villian Embassy, the Crucible Keep, Brackenbury, and the Temple of Wodica. Let's actually head there. I know we need to for the main mission. I know that the followers of, I can't remember who it was. Yeah, go to the Temple of Wodica. It's what we learned from Mayorwald, was that there's these followers or something that tend to worship Wodica. Is there a way in this little garden here?
Is this the old church you were looking for?
Can't tell if that's a ghost.
Praise to the exiled queen. May her crown be restored and her justice prevail. Come to pay your respects to the queen that was.
Who are you?
Lord Ardwellen Rugfold III, and pleased to make your acquaintance. I came to the Deerwood on one of the first ships from Adia, and unlike the yokels and hut dwellers around here, I still keep to the old ways.
It's truly a pity to see what locals have done to Wodica's house of worship. I was told I'd find the Temple of Wodica here.
And so you did. These savage colonists may have burned it down, but worship of the Oathbinder is alive and well. These stairs lead to the main sanctum.
What stairs are these?
These stairs, of course. The sanctum was always below ground, adjacent to the catacombs, so it wasn't destroyed by the fires.
Then where can I find this entrance?
There are various entrances throughout Defiance Bay, but I dare say the easiest to reach is in Copper Lane. I haven't been to that part of town in ages, but as I recall, it's somewhere near the southern gate.
And what are you doing just wandering around here?
Worshipping Wodica, the exiled queen and Oathbinder. I come every day to offer my devotion. I'd love nothing more than to book passage back to Adia, but it is my Emperor's wish that I serve in these barbaric lands. And so I do.
Well, can you tell me a bit more about Wodica?
A queen among the gods. She oversees laws and oaths. Everything has a rightful place, and Wodica watches over them all. Of course, not everyone accepts this. Even among the other gods, her authority is questioned. But Wodica is also goddess of memory and vengeance, and she remembers. She'll remember every slight and trespass when she reclaims her throne.
Well, just by the way, you know you're a ghost, right?
I beg your pardon? Is this some sort of joke where you come from?
I mean, come on, man. Look at yourself.
A madhouse. That's what this town really needs.
Alright. Well, see ya. Sugani draws up next to you. You alright? You looked almost like you lost your footing for a minute. Well, yeah, it happens time to time. She watches you quietly. You really are a watcher, aren't you? Once in a great many generations, one of my people is born with the ability to speak to souls. Usually, such individuals become elders or lone set of tracks in the snow. She cocks her head. I would have thought my journey would be easier if I could see what you see, but looking at you, I'm not so sure. Yeah, I'm not really sure either. Believe it or not, I once I once would have rejoiced to know I'd be picked to travel far in search of something great, but even these gifts come with a cost, don't they? Forgive me if I was a little skeptical of your abilities before. I can't say I've met a real watcher before. Oh, don't worry about him. He just likes doing that from time to time. Seems to cheer him up, so I just let him. Once you've seen it a few times, the shock wears off. Every time he goes a little strange in the face, I try to see if I can hear anything. It hasn't worked so far. See if you can get him to tell you what the spirit said. Thanks, guys. Glad to know my group only thinks I'm a little insane. Have these fantasies of what I see and what I'm doing. Okay, so he said that the easiest way to get into that temple would be through Copper Lane. But real quick, I'm going to go ahead and check out a couple more of the districts here in Defiance Bay. Let's start off with Heritage Hall. Sounds promising for a good adventure. Alright, heading to Heritage Hall. 15 minutes. Best turn around, traveler. Heritage Hall is closed. Well, why is that?
Good day to you.
The guard holds up a palm. Sorry, but this district's closed by order of the Duke himself. And how do I get inside? Trust me, you don't want to. But if you were really set on seeing this for yourself, I suppose you'd have to get permission from Wyla at the keep in the first fires. Was there anything else? And what's going on in there? Both guards look at each other. Look, even if we were allowed to tell you, I don't rightly know. All I can say is whatever it is, started about 2 months ago. The guards that closed the gate talked of something unnatural that still wakes them in the middle of the night. I don't want to know any more than that. You know, I don't want to give them any coin. I'm just going to go ahead and go about it the other way of getting whatever it is, the permission from whomever at that keep. But yeah, I wonder what's going on there. It sounds like people having
You're from
nightmares or
Gilded Vale?
something.
Then you're...
Sorry, I'm reading this conversation down here. Let's see. It's between Sagani and Eder.
All these circling feet heading nowhere.
Let's see what they were saying. You're from Gilded Vale? Then you're close to home. Ha! Close. Close can mean a lot of things. Surely you'll go back when this is all over. Don't know. Guess that all depends. Good conversation, guys. Glad to see you guys are hitting it off. You know? Makes all this traveling in silence a little less awkward. It's smoky, or is that like a mist coming off the ocean or something? So we got the lighthouse, Heritage Hill. We have an abandoned house. Looks like just a bunch of people's house. I'm guessing that's a tavern, trading company. Let's head on over. You know, let's head to the inn. Can probably find something to, or like learn some information about, well, just about anything here. Maybe get some gossip. Well, looks like we just walked in on a mugging, so it's noble. This man's fancy clothes are ripped and blood flows from a fresh cut above the eye. He tries to push himself up, but his arm is shaking. He winces painfully. You know, I'm just gonna help him up. Thank you. He gasps as he rises. My head. What happened? He carefully dabs at his bloody nose with the silk handkerchief. I was on my way to the club. He slowly stretches out one leg, grimacing at his scraped knee. It's a rough part of town, but the rabble's never been violent. Even a night with Ikali isn't worth this. He limps away. Who's this? Courtesan? Okay. So I'm assuming he was coming here to meet with the local courtesans and whores, I guess, and got mugged on the way.
Nothing like this in Gilded Vale. Just Wallaruna the milkmaid. She knew what she was doing. Overfried cod, watered ale, and prostitution. A bastion of Deerwooden culture.
I hope you aren't expecting to find the Leaden Key in here.
Visit new lands, see the sights. I do love travel.
Now to find a home for my other staff.
Alright, we're not here for that, Durrance.
Hello.
The Amao woman watches you suspiciously. One hand is tensed at her side, but as you approach, she relaxes and gives you a friendly, if weary, smile. I don't see many outfitted like you who aren't looking for trouble. You aren't looking for trouble, are you? I mean, what kind of trouble are you having? A frown ripples across her blue facial markings. The kind that's bad for business. Local rowdies have taken to harassing my hardworking boys and girls and our customers. They started showing up after this rash Hollowborn, and they've been driving my regulars away. She looks you up and down, scratching her chin. There aren't too many who care about what happens in places like the Gift, but word is you're an exception. The knights are too busy sniffing around Duke Avar to bother with us commoners, and I'd just as soon not deal with their bureaucracy anyway. Looks like word's already spreading about me. Yeah, just tell me how I can help. Maya draws you closer. These thugs tend to roam in groups, which suggests to me they aren't random incidents. She places one large finger on your chest. You put a stop to these attacks, and I'll find a real nice way to thank you. She winks. Got me? There's a look in Durrance's eyes, like a lion that has stumbled upon a herd of deer. His knuckles are white as he clutches his staff with both hands as he surveys the room. He laughs to himself, low and rumbling. Actually, I do have some questions. Shoot. What do you know about these attacks? She waves a hand at the door. You only have to step outside to see it for yourself. Those thugs out there are just waiting to cause trouble for anyone coming or going. She sizes you up. Maybe they would have let you pass, however. Well, tell me more about your business. She rubs the back of her neck. It's not doing as well as I'd like with all this trouble. I run an honest enterprise, just trying to give folks a little rest and relaxation. She nods at you and lowers her voice. You help me, and I'll see about getting you a special discount. And can I ask you something else? A knowing grin wraps her blue markings. Now, just what can I do for a strapping lad like yourself? Well, just tell me about this place. I thought that was clear as the crystal waters below the docks, she laughs. This here is the Salty Mass, the most famous house of pleasure in Defiance Bay. We've got drinks, beds, and good company to help you enjoy both. Of course, the club for refined and prestigious gentlemen is upstairs. You'll find several of the hardest working boys and girls in Defiance Bay up there, too. Yeah, not really here for any, pleasure, I guess. Much to Durrance's dismay. Looks like we got a few people here. Captain Pepperjack, Brothagard, Wade. Alright. So yeah, I guess we can try to help her out with these thugs. Let's see, supply and demand. Yeah, we just gotta find and confront them.
Sure. Sagani, does your fox bite?
Yes,
Can I pet him anyway?
it's your hand.
I'm gonna pet him.
That's awesome. I feel like I would be the same way. I don't think I would be able to just not pet it. What have we got here? Another tourist in the Gift. He nods to his shifty eye companions. Let's give him a proper welcome. Well, let's just talk this through. He draws a sharpened blade and smiles. I'm afraid you're missing the point, friend. Oh, man, they really, they should have listened. Alright, we'll go ahead and get Bear and Eder in the front there. I'm going to go ahead and mark probably one of the... Let's see, are there any archers among them? I don't see any. I'll mark the one in the back. Kana. Get in a wounding shot. Maybe he will take a bit longer to get here. And then let's see. Durance. I will have you go ahead and cast that. Let's get all of them in there. And Aloth. Let's go ahead and shoot some magic missiles at the guy in the back. Nope, forgot about Kana's pet. Alright. Let's go ahead and knock him down. And then let's see. Make sure Kana's attacking. Thought he would be, but guess I was wrong. Let's see. Oh, Fox got knocked out. Durance, let's go ahead. Large zone granting bonuses to defenses. Lowering accuracy. Strengthening allies resolve in battle. Probability they will land a critical hit. That's pretty cool. Crush damage and knock down on enemies in the area of effect. On enemies. Let's go ahead and hit them all. Let's see here. Summons 3 missiles that pierce through the target and leap to 2 additional targets. So does that hit? It looks like it hits allies as well. Nullifying field of antagonistic magical energy around the chosen point, suppressing all beneficial effects on enemies. I don't know if any of them have beneficial effects, really. So let's go ahead and hit him with that. If I have Aloth come around here, I can probably get him to cast Ray of Fire and only hit, or not Ray of Fire, sorry, the cone, and only hit the bad guys. I just realized Durance isn't attacking anyone. Let's go ahead and cast Restoring Endurance to all allies in the area of effect. So we can cast that, and after he's done with that, let's go ahead and get in there. Alright. Oh man, this dude's putting up a fight. There we go. I mean, I tried to give them an opportunity to solve things diplomatically, you know, and they just spat in my face, so they definitely chose wrong, I guess. So we got a key. Yep, I'm just gonna take everything. Let's see what that key had to say. I think it was a rusty bronze key. This old key looks like it's been rusted from years of exposure to the salty air. Alright. Don't really have much to go on that. Did just pick up some more armor, a couple weapons. Merwald's Grimoire, still have that. Shield. I think we're okay for now. Immunity to confuse. Does he even have a hood? He doesn't. Intellect +2, yeah, it seems like a good idea for him to have. Alright, let's head. Let's see if that's completed. One of the thugs dropped a key that looks like it belongs to a house in Andra's gift. Alright, let's go ahead and figure out where. It's probably the abandoned house, in all honesty. I feel like that would just make the most sense. I doubt they would just hang out in some person's home. Let's see if we can head in here. Looks like we're able to get in, but that might not be because of the key. Guess we'll find out. do we got here? Addicts. Just a bunch of addicts, I guess. A dozen tiny somethings squirm within the pot of rice. That is pretty gross. I hope that is not what they're addicted to, because that would just be disgusting. So, I guess I was wrong. It wasn't the abandoned house. Maybe over here? Nope, can't get in there. My second guess would be the ramshackle house here. Again, it just doesn't make sense to me that they would be operating out of someone's inhabited house. Yep. Unlock the bronze key. Let's head in. Oh, we got another group of people in here. Aphra.
Good day, stranger.
Aphra wears a defiant expression and a sturdy yet battered suit of armor. She seems to bear each scratch and ding with pride. You don't look like one of the knights. Can I help you with something? I'm here about the trouble at the Salty Mast. Ordinary kith are angry, as they should be with that crooked Amawa toadying up the nobles, she sneers. She's using the tragedy of Waidwin's legacy to line her pockets. She's no better than the Aediran overlords who drove out 200 years ago. People around here say you've got a good heart. Maya's made it only so the rich can afford her establishment, yet she sits in the poorest district of Defiance Bay. How's that right? We've taken matters into our own hands, but she's a real criminal here. Why don't you tell her to back down? I mean, I think the violence needs to stop. But if she is driving up her prices, that's pretty crappy of her. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can talk to her first. Aphra nods. I'm glad you can see our side. If I can solve this without having to kill every last one of them, I think that would be ideal. But I think worst comes to worst, even if I can't get her lower to the prices, I don't think that this should be handled with violence. Or I don't think that they're doing the right thing by just harassing people. The angry woman clenches her jaw and stares out toward the harbor with glimmering golden eyes. Eventually, sensing your presence, she turns her feathered head toward you.
Want to run it down on its luck, Valiant Trading Company? If you have more than half a brain, you could really do something with it.
She clenches her jaw and continues quietly.
As long as you're willing to clean up a few bloodstains.
Well, what's going on here?
Exactly. If I knew that, I'd be in a better mood. The only thing I know exactly is that Mestre Verzano is determined to wind up in a grave before the season turns.
The woman looks back at the warehouse for a moment and grimaces. After a slight nod in your direction, she storms off. Alright then. Well, hopefully she's not getting herself into too much trouble. Whoever that was. Let's go ahead. I guess I'd have to head around the little inlet here. Yeah, that was a little weird. I was thinking at first that it might be someone who would join our party, but I mean, who knows? Still could be. I don't know that we would make a change to our party. I kind of like the way things are. I was going to say maybe if I had to, I might swap out Sagani, but I'd... just because I already am a hunter, and if we can get someone who provides something different, that would be nice. However, I do like Sagani. I think her story's interesting, and I definitely want to see more about that. So, let's go ahead and talk to Maya again.
How do you do?
Always good to have a few more warm bodies in here. Any progress with those thugs? I actually wanted to talk to you about that. I hear you've been raising prices. What else am I supposed to do? I have to provide certain measures for my employees and their clients, especially with so many Hollowborn in the district. And with the price of bitter squash as high as it is, I've got no choice but to raise mine. She taps her chest with a finger. And don't get me started on cutthroat business. Not with the Dominos carrying on the way they do. I guess I could talk to the Dominos about their bitter squash. She raises her arms. It's your neck, Bricanta Dominel would be the easiest to persuade. She hands you she handles the family books. With any luck, you can find her at the manor over in Brackenbury. Just watch your step around her. Watch your step around all of them.
Hey there.
All right. Guess we're gonna haggle some prices on squash down. Was not exactly what I was expecting when I came in to
Sure.
liberate
How's the hand?
Turning
the
purple.
whores.
I have to cut it off.
I warned you not to pet him.
If I'm not supposed to pet him, why is he so soft?
All right. Let's head to, let's see here. Yeah, Brackenbury is the last district we have to visit. Nope. Stop that. Don't want to go down there. So we'll head to the First Fires and head down to Brackenbury and see if we can find this, whatever her name was. Definitely a tongue twister, at least for me. Let's see here. Brackenbury. Man. Well, at least we are working on that reputation so far. I mean, the innkeeper already knew our name, and we're going to help out quite a few people here, so see how this goes. Alright, Brackenbury. This place looks nice. The house is looking much better condition. Sanitarium. House Dominel, that's where I gotta go. Raymont Manor, the Charred Barrel, and Hadrit House. Alright, well, let's head on over here. I don't think I'll just be allowed to walk into everyone's house at will. This definitely looks like the nicer part of town. I couldn't remember which one that was. I remember someone was giving me directions and telling me about Defiance Bay. I just couldn't remember which district is which. The Dominal Doorman. Let's talk
Gods
to him.
keep you.
The burly guard eyes you warily. I don't recognize you. What business do you have with House Domino? I need to speak with Bracanta Domino. If you say so. She's up the stairs in the room at the end of the hall. Mind your manners. Will do. I like how I just had the opportunity to attack that dude. Like, I guess if I want to be like chaotic evil and just burst into someone's house and kill them when there's absolutely no need to. Alright, let's see. It's a servant. More guards. There's quite a few guards. Oh, a lot of guards. Let's see, where is she? Another servant. Abracan.
Welcome.
Oh, here she is. Bracanta Dominel. The woman must be well into middle ages, but there isn't a line on her face. Her large green eyes are watchful behind a curtain of glossy black hair. She studies you. I don't believe we've met. I'd remember you. I understand you control bitter squash seeds in Defiance Bay. I'd like to see the price load for the salty mast. She narrows her eyes. I don't know who told you that, but even if it were true, you're asking for a favor, and I only do favors for friends. She leans in, pursing her painted lips. But we could be friends. I just need a little something from you first. And what kind of favor do you have in mind? She crosses her arms and watches you out the corner of her eyes. There's a certain someone who may or may not be named Kolfek. He's insulted me. I'd like you to make an example out of him. And what exactly do you want me to do to him? I'd hate to stifle your imagination. She wrinkles her nose with a quick smirk. Just see that you teach him a lesson he won't soon forget. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could help. That's the spirit, she winks. I know that little runt holes up somewhere in Andra's gift. Once you've taken care of him, come back to me. I've got some stocks I had reserved for special friends. And what is it exactly that you do here? She looks you up and down. Let's just say I'm a merchant. I handle the trade of certain goods that my enterprising children and husband happen across. Sounds to me like she, her husband and son probably go out kill people, do some pretty shady stuff, and then she just reappropriates the merchandise, I guess, is what they would call it. But let's see here. So, she said it was in Andra's gift. Is that another? Yeah, it's back in the waterfront district, I guess. Man, so far, this city is about what I expected. A lot of corruption, a lot of politics getting in the way of what, like, I guess, justice. Call for interested patrons. What's this dude about? The Admeth's Den Expedition Hall pledges competent, proven men and women towards the profitable venture of your choosing. Interested parties are asked to seek out when and within the Expedition Hall. Well, I already have to go there anyway to find out about that weird pool place. What do we got over here? Do we have to run through the water to get to that? Oh, it looks like we can. I was thinking it was like... I didn't know we would be able to walk in the water here. A young boy's corpse lies at your feet, half covered in dirt and seaweed. His hands have stiffened around a dagger. A soul lingers nearby, something confused and lost in the seaside fog. Reach toward the soul. As you reach for the soul, it lashes out. Glowing mist strikes at the air around you. The soul can't touch you, but you feel it burn with a feeble, uncontrolled rage. It's alright, I'm here to help you. The soul flickers. It ripples toward you, timidly at first. As it swirls around you, you experience wonder, fear, and the joy of running between the ships at noon. With a jolt, it pulls you into the streets around the salty mast. Women with painted faces weave between men stumbling in and out of the lamplight. Father's gone in for a drink, just like always. He said he'd only be in a few minutes, but it's been hours. The man guarding the door only laughed when you tried to explain this. There's always a back door. In an alley, two men have cornered a woman. Her cheeks are streaked with tears. She's backed against the wall and looking away. They're inching closer. You step forward. The men barely acknowledge you, but the woman looks at you, a plea in her eyes. You've seen that look in abused strays, in your hollow-born sister, that time father took her from her splintering cradle into the filled wash basin. You were brave that day. A knife is in the thug's belt. It's in your hands, and now it's in his thigh. You're small and fast, but not fast enough. Fingers bite into your arm, and a muddy boot sails toward your face. Then, everything is muffled by cold, brackish water. The soul retreats from you. It pulses with a question. Yeah, I think that it does look like he did a good thing. You definitely did something nice for that woman, but... You need to move on, and hopefully the gods will reward you in the next life. Darren's soul absorbs this thought and ebbs into the ocean mist around the dock. A young boy's corpse lies at your feet. I'm going to take the dagger. The boy's small hands are rigid in death, but you pry the dagger free. It looks too large and too expensive to have belonged to him. The letter B is carved into the pommel.
Yeah?
Alright, I guess we got to find... either his father or maybe the man who owned the dagger. And if we find the man who owned the dagger, then we're probably gonna have to deal with him a bit. Maybe, beat the living crap out of him for killing a boy and what sounded like raping a woman. Alright. But for now, I think that's a good place to stop. In the next episode, we're going to go ahead and continue on this mission. We're going to find that Kolsk, or no, that's not Kolsk. It's some other guy. I can't remember his name. But we're going to find him for the Domodala or whatever her name was. Yep. Can see that my memory is impeccable when it comes to names. But yeah, we're going to go ahead in the next episode, find him, maybe find the owner of this dagger, help some more people in town. The usual. Thank you, everyone. Bye.